So as most of you know from watching my channel for a while, I love EvolveAi. The app works really, really well. Yeah, I'm not like super buff like anybody, but I am getting stronger every single week. The programming is pretty good. There's definitely some things that I've wanted to have changed, but as you know, these things do take time. Today, though, they did release a pretty big update. I'm going to go through those right now and kind of show you like the main things that the community has been asking for. And Garrett said that him and Bryce are working on some other stuff that is going to get rolled out very soon. Right, so there's a lot of stuff to review here. So it's going to be not like super lengthy or anything. I'll try to go through it as easy as possible. So I'm going to put my screen share up here and kind of go back and forth. As of October 17th, there was an update that was released. I'm going to put it up here. It's actually a pretty nice one. It's like a newer version and it just has some extra things. So if I go to the app and I just show you what it looks like on this screen. So I'm opening the app here and it is processing everything. Down at the bottom, you have the dashboard, which is basically the same. This next one here is the train icon, which is slightly different. This one is really nice because you're able to skip workouts or do different things, and it has a view of what training is coming up. This one right here was probably the one that people were asking the most. Like, hey, before we had the new version of the app, I could see what training was coming up so I could plan or do whatever, because people want to see what's happening. This is something that Garrett and Bryce took into consideration and released this update. This is the biggest change for the October 17th, where you can now see on your training schedule what's upcoming and is it easy, is it not. I'm just going to click into day one here. I don't have everything set, but you could now scroll down and see what sets you're going to have at what weights. I have benchmarks set up for the SBD, but you could change that depending on what you want. I personally like benchmarks because it does put another element in there. If I exit out here and I go to the next day, so let's just say that life happens and I want to skip this workout and I don't want to go through all the answers and the questions on there, you could just click those three little dots there and push skip workout. So if you just do that now, it'll come up with a prompt that says, why do you want to skip this workout? Scheduling, fatigue, or other. In the past, you would actually have to go in, click it 4 or 5 times and to skip it. So this one right here is the biggest change that they did on October 17th. However, there are some other new changes. I will put them up on the screen here so you could see the whole laundry list of them. I'm not going to read them. I will just do the Cliff Notes version for you. But these, to me, are the most exciting and something I personally have been looking forward to. So I am 48 years old. I am still, for the most part, a novice lifter. I'm not on the intermediate side. My lifts are going up, but I'm going to be honest with you. I really want to make sure that my health and wellness and my recovery is there. I'm going to still do more powerlifting style lifts, but I also want to focus on more accessories, which in this area, this is where they did some improvements. So if I just go to my account here, I'm going to blank out a couple things, and then I go to the training section and my program. You could continue to change your training program and you can modify your intensity. You could do that there. But the biggest one that they changed here is how you could do powerlifting now and versus power building. So you think, well, they had that before. They did, but there's a huge difference here. So I'm going to go through. I'm going to just overwrite my program because I just did this earlier, so I haven't done anything to it yet. Okay, so you are presented with the prompts. Do you want lower or higher reps? Do you want more or less variation for your rate, for your lifts? What kind of style do you want? Do you want an extended block versus not? This is really going to depend on the individual. Do you want training or reactive deload? Now here is the biggest difference. So in powerlifting, I don't think a whole lot has changed here. There is some stuff on the background and there is some different presentations, but power building in the past was brutal as far as the amount of sets that you would get up to and the recovery, and it just kept building, building, building. And there was really no focus. It was kind of more like all or none. So this is the one area, if you didn't set your training days to be five training days or 6 training days, the amount of volume that you had in like 2, 3, or 4 training days was, I'll be honest, pretty brutal, and most people would not get through it. This was the biggest thing that I think that they needed to change. So I'll show you. So I'm going to click on power building here, go to the next, so you could see what your focus is. Do you want it to be mostly bodybuilding? Do you want it to be mostly powerlifting? I haven't tested to see what's different here, if the bubble actually makes a big difference. However, click through here. This is going to ask you what upper body and lower body part you want to improve on. So I did my hamstrings and I did my shoulders. Now this is the area that's awesome. So it gives you a lot of changes. So now you could tell it you want to do full body days, or I want to do an upper lower split. This is really great. This is something I've been asking for, and I know a lot of other people as well, because the upper lower split to me as an older athlete works perfectly. So then I could do a 4-day program, and I could do upper lower rest, upper lower rest on the weekends if I want to. And then I could add like a bro day or arms day in there on the 5th day if I want to, outside of the program. So if I click upper lower split, I pick the days that I want, and then when do I want to start this? Let's just say I'm going to start next Monday. Click next. Do you have a meet? Put in a meet date here, even if you don't, because the block will be a little bit different. It will be strength related or not. Click there. Do you want to do periodization styles? Just do the recommended here. And then do you want to do a bridge block? No. Put in your maxes. I'm clicking through, clicking through. So now it's going to put your program in place. So the biggest difference is when you had the 4 or 5 day, or the 4-day, or even 3-day, the volume that it presented was super brutal. This, with the upper lower, it is really nice. And I checked it before and the volume wasn't so bad. Okay, so this is processed. So now I have the upper, lower, rest, upper, lower. I'm going to scroll through here so you can see my bench here. Now I have pull-ups. Okay, that makes sense. I want to pick a shoulder exercise, a lat, chest, bicep, and a tricep. I'm going to just do those really, really quick. So I'm going to do, I'm going to do face pulls. And for my lat movement, I'm going to do lat pull downs, because I already have pull-ups up above. For chest, I'm going to do cable fly because I have a FTX that I love. Biceps, I'm going to do some hammer curls. And triceps, I am going to do dips. Well, let's do pull down, push down, tricep push downs on the cable machine. Okay, so that's my upper day here. So now this is another really nice thing that they did. You can see the sets here. The volume does look pretty reasonable. This is the first week. Face pulls, repeat, 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 lat pull downs, etc. So now I'm in the session. This is the one other thing that they added in the new update that I think is really cool. So I'm just going to start my session, just go through the prompts here. You should answer these because it does affect your training program. So now I started the workout. So if you look on the screen in the bottom right-hand side or left-hand side, I'm not sure exactly where it's going to be on the screen there, but there is a plus, which is with a purple circle, and then a minus right next to it. So let's just say on pull-ups, you need some more volume outside of what it is, or you're just tired. You can go and say, you know what, I'm going to hit the minus and I'm going to take one of those sets off, or I'm going to take another set off. So now instead of 4 sets that I had to start with, I only have 3. This is amazing as well, because this gives the user way more flexibility to their programming. I like the programming that is there now as it exists, because it's really great. It gets you stronger and it does what it wants to. But there are just certain days that you don't want to skip stuff. But if it's not on the screen because you're tired or whatever, it would actually let you take it off now, where before you just had to skip it. And you know, I am one of those people that if it's on the screen, if it's on the programming, I want to do it, regardless if the volume is insane or not. So to me, this actually makes it much more bearable, so then I could go through and remember, if you want to look at your training for future days as well, you can look at the training that's upcoming. I wish before you started the session, this is probably another thing that you could possibly adjust some volume there. But to be quite honest, this is the easiest way of doing it when you're in the session anyways. So I went out, I'm going to resume the session, go back in, and then I do the plus or minus. So those are the 2 areas, 3 areas, 4 areas that they've done the biggest updates to. I know a lot of people do juggernaut, which is great. I have personally never done that. This has been really great for me. Of course, the price point is completely different, but with the updates that they're making, they are going to be well on their way to making the app even better than it is. So with that, thank you for joining me today. I hope that you learned something, and if you have any questions, please let me know. I really do enjoy this program. This is the 2nd year I have been a yearly subscriber for it. My strength gains have gotten much better. For 48 years old, I feel like I'm in a really good place. I'm definitely more about health and wellness and making sure that I'm recovering, not getting hurt, and I'm not competing, right? But this, the way it's presented, the way it works, it just is really nice, and it's a pleasure to work with. So with that, thank you for joining me today. Please like and subscribe if you haven't by now. I'm going to be doing some additional content like this. Once again, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day.